Hey smart people, Joe here. This holiday season, I bet many of you are gonna sit down with family and friends to celebrate. And I bet a lot of you are gonna be sitting down to eat some nice, delicious dinosaur. Birds are dinosaurs. But why is that? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Today I'm here with my friends Anna Rothschild, who makes Science Magic Show Hooray at the Washington Post. And fun fact, she's 25% mashed potatoes.
It's true, I am.
And Dr. Shay Montanari, who is not only a pumpkin beer aficionado, but is a dinosaur expert extraordinaire.
Really happy to be here, Joe. We have all heard that birds are dinosaurs, but what exactly does that really mean?
That's a great question, Anna. So the way that we can even tell that anything is related to something else is through looking at their anatomy and what kind of characteristics that they share.
These are called synapomorphies, traits shared by two or more groups of organisms and derived from a common ancestor, like how humans and chimps both have opposable thumbs.
So there's different kinds of dinosaurs, and we can look at the characteristics of birds to figure out exactly what kind of dinosaurs they are. There's actually lots of clues preserved in their bones that show that they are very closely related and that birds are actually dinosaurs.
And we're gonna find those today with this. So we couldn't get a turkey. It's not quite Thanksgiving yet, but everything we show you, we promise that you can do at your holiday table with the people that you're celebrating with and explain to them the science of why they're eating a dinosaur.
In the 1860s, scientists unearthed the most famous feathered dinosaur fossil, Archaeopteryx. Early defenders of evolution like Thomas Henry Huxley began to suggest that these extinct reptiles were so similar to birds, they must be related. But the idea didn't really catch on until the 1970s, when new fossils filled in more empty branches on the dinosaur family tree. About 250 million years ago, a group called archosaurs split into crocodilian reptiles and dinosaurs. And a lot of evolution has happened since that split.
Okay, so there are two groups of dinosaurs, and it's the Ornithischians and Saurischian dinosaurs. And that split happened about 240 million years ago. And the way that we know that birds belong to the Saurischian group is mainly because of their hands. So
Wait, hands?
Right.
Birds don't have hands.
Birds actually do have hands. They just don't really look like hands anymore. So if you've eaten a chicken wing, or at least held onto a chicken wing, you've been shaking hands with a chicken.
Can we dig into this chicken and check it out?
I think it's time to
Okay.
check it out.
Let's go find that chicken hand.
So these are like the original chicken fingers.
Now, I usually dissect these with my teeth. You're doing it completely differently.
Yeah, so that little skinny part of the wing at the end that you don't typically eat because
This
there's
little
not much meat
nubbin?
on it, that little nubbin is the finger of the chicken that's gotten super reduced.
I
Oh, wow.
accidentally broke off the very tip of the bird finger, but here is like the second digit, the very, very tip of the finger.
That's a tiny bird finger.
So I'm gonna let you hold
Thank
that
you.
as well.
Yeah. So we got the first digit, the second digit, and the third digit.
The length of the three bird fingers inside a wing narrows down which group of dinosaurs birds descended from. The second finger is longest in birds and in Saurischian dinosaurs.
That's a big way that we know that birds belong to the Saurischian group as opposed to the Ornithischian group.
So birds are Saurischian dinosaurs, but are all Saurischian dinosaurs birds?
No, they are not. That's a great question. So even within Saurischian dinosaurs, as we're walking up this dinosaur family tree, there's another group that branches off, and we can tell which one birds are a part of, and it's the theropod dinosaurs. And the one bone that is the biggest clue of theropod dinosaurs is something that you've probably played a little game with after your Thanksgiving dinner, the wishbone, right here.
Cool.
I think it's time to dissect a wishbone.
What does the wishbone do? Does it serve a purpose for flight or for something else?
Yeah,
Well, it helps birds get their wishes.
Right, of course. Besides helping all their dreams come true, the furcula is actually support for the flight muscles.
A wishbone, or furcula, is actually a bird's collarbones, but instead of two separate collarbones like we have, theirs is fused into one. Wishbones have only been found in birds and theropod dinosaurs, like Allosaurus, and they draw a clear line from those extinct creatures to our modern feathered friends.
Let's get this wishbone out here in one piece. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I got it.
Did it!
Bravo.
So all birds will have a form of this, and all of the dinosaurs in this part of the tree also had something like this.
Right, we found a furcula in most theropod dinosaurs fossils that we found around the world. So
We'll save this for later.
Fossil wishbones are one of the most important pieces of evidence we have that birds descended from theropod dinosaurs.
So actually, one of the similarities between birds and theropods and how we know birds are theropod dinosaurs is inside their bones. This is another one of those tibiotarsus bones.
Drumstick bones.
Drumstick bones. And I have channeled all of my rage and broken this one in half. You can see that the walls of the bone is very thin and basically hollow. So when people say, oh, birds have hollow bones, that's what they mean. There's a very little spongy bone on the inside, and it's just a very thin wall, which makes it easier for them to fly.
Theropod dinosaurs had these hollow bones too. So did that help them be like more agile, you know, go in for more Jurassic Park type kills?
Right, that's a great question because theropods had a lot of the characteristics that modern birds do, but they didn't fly. So these characteristics must have been helpful for them to do other things, and hunting is definitely one of them.
And that's a cool thing about evolution, is that something that could have helped theropods that didn't fly in one way, like birds could have taken advantage of that in a completely different way as lightweight for flight, right?
Exactly. So even within theropods, as we're going down the family tree, there's more branches, and the way that we can tell which one birds fall in is how many fingers they have.
So our chicken, we've got 1, 2, 3 fingers.
Around 200 million years ago, theropods split. One branch kept 4 or even 5 fingers, but a branch called Tetanurae all descended from an ancestor with just 3 fingers. Our bird? 3 fingers. Later, some tetanurans, like T-Rex, even lost an additional finger, going from 3 to 2. Poor T-Rex.
So to get to the next identifying characteristic of this bird, we're really gonna have to dig in there.
I'm just ripping just parts off here. It's kind of fun. It's like the Brain Scoop crossed with a cooking show right now.
I mean, honestly, this entire scene is so macabre.
It's so bad. Like, people are...
The darkest Thanksgiving. Again, you can do any of this with a turkey. It's just going to be a lot messier, which in my book makes it more fun.
Okay, so we know that birds are tetanurans, but is that the last branch, or can we get like even more specific?
We can get even more specific. There's a few more branches to go before we get to what we call crown birds or living birds. And birds are a specific type of theropod called Maniraptoran theropods. So Maniraptora, one of the characteristics of this group is that the hips point backwards.
Specifically, the rearward tilted bone is a part of the pelvis called the pubis.
So we got our backward facing pelvis for the Maniraptorans. Is there another branch beyond this?
Yeah, so there's Avialae. So Aves is part of Avialae. Aves is modern birds. And a big difference between the kinds of theropod dinosaurs that you're probably envisioning in your head, like Velociraptor, and birds, is a tail. So birds actually do not have tails. This little bit at the end represents what's left of the dinosaur tail, called a pygostyle.
So the pygostyle is the last remnants of a long, fluffy, feathered theropod tail and narrows down the bird-dinosaur family tree even further. So, birds are avian, maniraptoran, tetanuran, theropod dinosaurs. And these anatomical features are just a few of the similarities that scientists have used to place birds in the dinosaur family tree. There's even more, from the shape of their necks, to their weird feet, to, yes, even feathers.
Okay, my holiday dinner is never gonna be the same. It's gonna be way awesomer and a little grosser, but that's okay.
So if you want to do this at home, you definitely can. And if you want to learn more, there's links in the description.
You know, we've taken a deep dive inside of a dinosaur to see what makes them what they are. But what were they like on the outside? And what did they act like?
That is an excellent question. And if you want to learn a little bit more about what colors dinosaurs were and maybe even what sounds they made, head over to my channel where Joe and I explore those questions.
Can we all try to do our best dinosaur sound impression?
Okay, like every holiday dinner, this one has to end with traditional breaking of the wishbone. Grab a side, guys. 3, 2, 1.
What'd you wish for?
I wished for everyone to stay curious. That was great.
And hold it because it's natural and it's totally fine.
4 more seconds.
Family picture. Okay. We're good.